from day one. The most important thing to me in life is being the best dad that I could be. And I think too many times that people get caught up in one or the other thing. Either they work all day, so they just pay X amount of dollars for their kids and think that's happiness. That's not happiness. Or they do everything possible with their kids, but they're not really present, if that makes sense. I think too many parents nowadays get caught up in the how it looks instead of what it is. I think more parents, as you alluded to earlier, you volunteer and be a part of this and do that with your kids. Listen, being a volunteer, that doesn't mean showing up, raking your leaves and going home or whatever it is. It means actually seeing what you could do to be a volunteer of doing something where your kids choose to do. And I want to recap that by saying my father's favorite sport was hockey. It still is. Can't ice skate worth a lick, but it's still his favorite sport. All right. But when I was little, I gravitated towards baseball. Now, he never forced me to play hockey. As a matter of fact, he then went out, coached my baseball teams, volunteered coach. He used to work in the Twin Towers. He was on the 33rd floor of the One World Trade Center for 18 years. He would get on the train, take the 2+ hour ride home. My mother would have a meatball parm ready for him. He'd get out of the car in his suit and tie, get changed in the parking lot, hop the fence, and coach my team. That's what I call being present. And I think, honestly, between my parents, my grandparents, God rest their souls, and my family, my immediate family, my brothers that I'm alluding to here, we all live 3 miles from each other. There's never a day that goes by we're not thankful for each other and what we do for each other because we want to, not because we have to. And there's a big difference in that. And I think if people focus more on doing what they want for the person or persons that they love, not by holding a carrot over their head and do this and then I'll give you that or whatever you want to say, but by just focusing on what they want and doing what they want because you love them. And I think that's what would start this, revolution, if you will, of more people being happy, staying away from the things that are negative, drugs and alcohol and all these things that these kids seem to get into because when it comes down to it, if they have time for drugs and alcohol, that means you're not there. Okay. And I'm not saying that they can't find their way and this and that and the other thing. And I'm not saying kids won't be kids, but if you're there, you're going to be present. You're going to know. My mom used to give me what I call the sniff test every time I came in. She'd give you a kiss every time you come in and sniff your breath. Make sure you weren't smoking a cigarette or drinking a beer or something. And, you look back on it and you say to yourself, these are the kind of reasons why I didn't do half the things that I did that I would have been able to get away with. It's things like that you may not, you may think, oh, mom, when you're a kid, but you look back and you say, geez, thank goodness mom did that. Right? Oh, look back at Joe Schmo and what went on in his life, right? He turned into this, that, or the other thing. And meanwhile, mom and dad would come home, they'd sit on the couch and the kids would be in the basement, doing what they wanted to do. So I think really going back to what you said about being present, volunteering and being present is really a key factor. And I think that's what, when the kids come to me too for the lessons and stuff, obviously I'm present in the situation, but I try to be as present as I can for them. I don't just come to the lesson and talk baseball. I come to the lesson. Hey, little Johnny, how's life? How was your game the other day? What did you do? Good. How's school going? Good. I'll joke with them. You got a girlfriend yet? Or, little things like this, try and break the ice and whatever like that. And, we talk about things. I'm present in the time that we spend with them. And bottom line is when they want to come back to when the lesson's over and they give me the old, that's it, then something went well. When they're looking at the clock and they're saying, are we done yet? Then you know that I didn't have a good lesson. And knock on wood, that doesn't really happen much, but it's happened, right? It's happened. But then I'll make sure I tweak what I did to make sure that I don't ever have that happen again with that person. So being present in the situation is very important.